Welcome to Keeping It Real with Rob and Ning. Ning, I'm very excited about tonight's show. We have 2 home runs.
Wow.
And we have a terrific profile.
Wow, 2 home runs. Actually, yun pong home run is yun yung mga success stories ng ating mga clients at yan ang sinusubaybayan ng ating mga viewers.
That's true. And this first one is from Salinas, California with Magna and Richard.
So ito pong dalawang retired natin na clients, tumaas ang kanilang mortgage payment and so nagpapanik sila. Pero paano nangyari na nakakuha sila ng almost $50,000 plus nagawa nila yung kanilang biggest dream of their life?
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to hear this story, so let's watch.
Let's go.
Nataranta ang mag-asawang Richard at Magna nang biglang tumaas ang binabayaran nilang mortgage sa bahay buwan-buwan.
Initially, it went up from $2,400 to about $3,300 a month. So I decided to shop around to get it refinanced, with a payment of less than, $2,800 a month.
And now I said our budget will be cut. How are we going to do it?
My goal was to lower my mortgage payment to within my reach, which is about $2,700, $2,800 a month.
May nahanap siyang lender na umalok ng $2,900 na mortgage. Bagamat masakit pa rin ito sa bulsa, inisip ng padre de familia na tanggapin at lagdaan na ito. Ngunit, tutol si Mrs.
I says, look for another one.
We're still, open for somebody else that can offer a much lower monthly mortgage payment.
We're watching Double Nation with Rob and Ning, and I keep on telling him, he says, why not one day call them and see, what they're gonna do for us. I keep on pushing and pushing. Call her, call them, call them.
Nagdadalawang isip si Mister na bitawan pa ang alok ng kanyang lender kung hihingi ito ng tulong kina Rob at Ning.
There's always that hesitation about not being approved because of my credit score. I didn't think that I would be, even approved for any kind of loan at all. This could be the people that could help me out, lower my mortgage payment. And although, again, in the back of my head, will I qualify?
Pero nanaig pa rin ang kahilingan ni Mrs.
When I finally contacted Ning and Rob, they were so excited to help me in any way they can.
Nagawa ng paraan ni Rob at Ning na babaan ang mortgage payment. Pero may nasilip pa silang nakatagong kayamanan sa bahay ng mag-asawa. Kakayanin pala nilang umawas sa equity ng halagang $50,000.
Did you say that I can get $50,000, for this loan with the same, mortgage payment that I'm going to make? I said, yes, po. I was so overwhelmed.
That's a lot of money. I told him that, our daughter can use it.
Matagal na pala nilang pangarap na tulungan ang kanilang anak na magkaroon ng sariling bahay.
For them to be able to buy a house, it's been years that I've been trying to get them to do this.
I was really praying and praying. Oh, now I'm about to cry. Now I'm so happy that, they have their own house.
This is just the opportunity that we wanted to, grab and run with it. It's really a godsend to be able to do that.
So Ning, I think the modification they had that they started a long time ago kept their payment low, right, for a period of time. And now we're at that point where it's going to go up.
Minamatch ng lender natin kung ano yung pwede natin o yung kaya nating bayaran on a monthly basis. And so maybe that's the reason why they're paying that low. Pero darating ang time, certain period of time, babalik yung interest rate from the original rate. Kaya tumaas yung kanilang payment that high, almost $1,000 difference from the low payment because of the modification.
Yeah, and is this unusual? It's not with modification. It is with adjustable rate mortgages because they have caps on the increases. But in this case, with the modification, they take you very low and then they take you very high after a period of time. And that was their, their problem.
That's why they said, we can't afford this. We have to do something.
Yeah, and you know what? They weren't even looking for cash, right?
Yes.
They were just looking to lower their payments and fixing them.
They actually have a certain amount. Sabi nila, if I will just pay this is the only amount we can afford. And so I want to find a lender that can give me that mortgage payment.
Exactly. And so they were close to signing with that other mortgage company. And again, not all mortgage companies are the same, right? Magna said, let's call Rob and Ning. And again, calling us, we can look at what their situation is. Sometimes we'll say go forward, but sometimes we can help them tremendously and with a different result.
Right. And actually, the result was, yun nga, na-pay off lahat yung kanilang debt. So they are debt-free. And nagkaroon sila ng almost $50,000 cash. Now, initially, Robert, I did not know na yun pala ay gagamitin sa anak na gusto nilang makabili ng bahay. So that's their dream. And it's so interesting kasi after we closed the transaction, right, he called me back and said, I want you to help my daughter and the husband. And so I talked to them and initially sinasabi nila sa kanilang parents na we're not qualified for any loans, Dad and Mom, because, we have bad credit and things like that. Pero sabi nga nila, well, see kung anong maitutulong sa inyo ni Rob and Ning.
Look at this home run. They were going to sign papers with another mortgage company just to try to lower their payment.
Right.
And the end result was they came to us, they got a lower payment with cash that they used to help family members to get their home.
Right. And I really admire yung mag-asawa na si Mr. Richard and Mrs. Magna kasi they used their equity very wisely. Usually ang Filipino families, they want to keep the property and sinasabi nila inheritance nila yun sa mga anak nila, right, which is really adorable. It's just that sila po, because they want to still stay in the house, pero gusto rin nilang matulungan yung mga anak nilang makabili kasi they've been renting, yung mga anak they've been renting. So they took some money, nung malaman nilang they can get enough money to help for the daughter, and that's what exactly they did. And just recently we closed that transaction too, para dun sa mga anak.
Laking pasasalamat ng anak sa mga magulang na ipinasa ang grasya sa kanya.
Money is meant to be spent. And if I'm going to spend it for you guys, and that's a blessing. And that's always been our goal. A huge gratitude goes to Ning and Rob for all their help. A dream come true for us and especially for my daughter.
Thank you so much. And God bless you all the time.
Mr. Richard and Mrs. Magna hit a home run. And yung kanilang home run, nanganak ng another home run for their kids. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it really is. And we want to thank them for sharing their story.
There really is no money down, no upfront cost to you. You're just going to be buying the power that you need from your own roof at a much lower rate.
Welcome to Profiles. Here on Profiles, Rob and I interview professionals from other industries that are related to our housing, money, and retirement.
That's right. And today we have someone from SunRun Solar, Josh Kerr. SunRun is the #1 company for solar in the United States. And Josh, welcome to our show.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Josh.
It's great to be here, keeping it real with you.
Thank you, Josh. So let's just ask some quick questions about solar first. Is it for everyone?
I would say that it's not for everyone. The thing you want to make sure, you have to own your home. You actually need to have a decent roof for it. That means if you have too much shade, it's not going to be good for you. You're not going to produce enough energy to make it worth it. But we can help you navigate that. Yeah.
Okay, so parts of the country where they don't get a whole lot of sun, you're probably not so big in those areas, but
Surprisingly, like Massachusetts, New York are very big with solar still. You'll still benefit, but you really do need to pay attention to, yeah, like what your utility company is, if it would really benefit you. Each area is different, but we're all across the country.
There are some homeowners, they have some concerns about their solar. How will you determine if someone needs solar?
So I think those are great questions. Just on those kind of, I don't know, horror stories that you hear about someone, everybody has a friend or a neighbor that had a bad experience.
Yes.
It really is something where you do need to take your time, talk to a few different companies, do your homework, and if you're going to look into it, just make sure that you know how long you're going to be in your home. So some options for solar, they are a loan, and when you take out a loan with your home, you're going to have a lien. When you go to sell your house, you're going to have to pay that off or convince the buyer that it's worth it for them to take that on. That can be a tough sell. So you want to make sure that you know that going in. There are other options that don't require a lien, one that was developed by SunRun, which is called a power purchase agreement. So imagine this, right now, if you're a homeowner, you buy your power from the power company.
Right.
They supply that to you and they give it to you at a rate per kilowatt hour. You can see it right on your bill. With a power purchase agreement, all it is you're taking that same concept, instead of it being your power company, you're going to bring the power plant to your roof. SunRun is going to take care of it for you, and you're able to get a much lower rate because it's produced locally right here on your roof, and you don't have to pay all those delivery fees. So that's an option that's most popular with a lot of our customers because you don't have to take the responsibility of a lien on your house.
What about maintaining that solar panels on your roof?
So in this case, again, with the power purchase agreement, we are responsible for maintaining for the full term that you work with us.
Yeah.
So Josh, we're based in California, although this show airs across the country. California, my goodness, rates are going up tremendously, and so especially here, I would think solar is a good option.
If you live in the state of California, it's almost a no-brainer as long as you have good sun on your roof.
Solar panels actually add value to the house, Robert?
Well, yeah, they can in certain circumstances. I mean, it's almost like a swimming pool, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not a whole lot of value per se when you go to sell. But I can assure you, I've had clients that have bought because there is solar over another house, right? Because they do have electric cars, right? And they do have a high usage. I like solar. I've put solar on my properties, and I've used SunRun, obviously, and they have some great programs, because, and this is a question with a lot of people, how much money out of pocket?
Yeah.
Because, people, liquidity and stuff is hard.
Yeah, so for us, as long as you own the home and you have a minimum credit score about 650, you should be able to qualify for our power purchase program. And of course, you have to have enough sun. I keep bringing that up because it really is important. So we have that option. In that case, there really is no money down, no upfront cost to you. You're just going to be buying the power that you need from your own roof at a much lower rate.
And just sign an agreement?
Yep. So in every state is different as far as their laws, but in the state of California, there's a state form that we go through to make sure you understand the decision you're making. It's called the California Consumer Protection Guide. That's necessary. We go over the agreement, make sure that everything is very clear to you, and we also do an agreement with your utility company to make sure that this is something we'll maybe get to talk about more, but you want to make sure you have a utility company that's going to give you credit for the extra solar energy that you produce.
What's that called again? That's
A
called
net energy metering agreement, or a NEM. Net energy metering means that they're going to give you credit when you overproduce, and then you can use that credit later when you're not producing as much.
And so every state's a little different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, and even utility companies within a state are. So that's something that we would guide you through. Make sure you have somebody that can explain that to you.
So when you sign into that agreement, are you tied? Is there like you need to be in that agreement, you cannot break that agreement at all?
So it is a commitment. I would think of it like this. When you started driving, gas prices when I started driving were around $1. Now, at least in California, they're like $4.50. So if you could imagine, you wanted to make a commitment with Chevron or whoever, sorry Chevron if I shouldn't say your name, but basically, hey, I'm going to buy this gas for $2.50 for the next 20, 25 years. Is that a good deal? That's pretty much what you're doing with your electricity. So it is a commitment. I won't say it's not. You are responsible to fulfill that term with us, but we have options where you can buy it out if you need to. There's options where it can transfer very easily without any kind of loan problem. So we have options for you.
Yeah, I like that because, like what you said, Rob, it's a lot of money to put solar on your roof. But, long run, like what you said, if you live in the house for longer, so it really depends on your overall plans, right? Well, in the long run, it will really benefit homeowners.
Well, and take your example. You have an electric car, right? So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, and so instead of going to the gas station, right, you just take your plug at home and plug it into your car, and so it fuels your car too.
That's
so
right.
there's a lot of savings there as well.
Absolutely. If you have an electric car, you should have solar, as long as you have enough sun.
Can you put it up right now?
Let's talk after, yeah, definitely.
And so SunRun, again, the largest company in the
For
United-
homes,
for homes in the United States.
That's right.
And we've used them. We've been very happy with SunRun, and so that's why we recommend SunRun. We're kind of promoting SunRun, so if they want to contact you or get a plan done, how can they do that?
The easiest way is to, and I want to make sure that's clear, you want to go to the website keepingitrealsolar.com. So keepingitrealsolar.com, that's just how it sounds, keepingitrealsolar.com.
And by doing that, obviously they're coming through the show, but they're going to reach you.
Correct.
And
Able to talk
SunRun
to you.
can then do a plan for them.
So myself and my staff will personally handle anybody that comes through the show, and we'll treat you like family.
I
That's
appreciate
perfect.
that.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
So don't go away. We'll be right back after the break.
Just before the interview process came out, my oldest sister passed away. So that's why I didn't want to talk. It's okay.
The future of energy is SunRun. Save as much as 50% on your electric bill. Ask about no upfront cost solar at 888-860-9530 or visit keepingitrealsolar.com. Call 888-860-9530 for no upfront cost solar or visit keepingitrealsolar.com.
Ning, we have another story from Austin.
Yes.
And it's family members again. It's your sister, Lalaine, and her husband, Ed. But what I like about it is it shows, the American dream
Right.
for the Filipino family, right?
Yes.
You've experienced it,
Yes.
and your sister's experienced it.
Oh, I think, owning a property, yun ang American dream ng mga Pilipino sa Amerika. We've been doing this, Rob, for more than a decade, and I feel so blessed. It's very overwhelming na makatulong ka sa mga tao na magkaroon sila ng sarili nilang bahay.
And Lalaine and Ed definitely have experienced the American dream. And you know what? They're sharing that American dream with family members that aren't even here in America.
I know.
It's great. Let's watch their story.
Hi, I'm Lalaine, and this is my husband, Ed, and we have been living in Austin, Texas for 14 years. We just purchased our new home about a year and a half ago. It was in 2005 when my job brought me to Austin. We lived in Round Rock because of the school. We have 2 little children, and that was important for us. And we stayed in there for 12 years. My job transferred us in Arizona. Arizona was really not the place for us, so we decided to come back to Austin.
The job market is incredible. If you're not working in Austin, it's because you don't want to work. You've got the hospitality industry, the tech industry. There's just quite a few areas that one could find employment in. So the job market's really strong here.
Moving back to Austin, this was Ed and Lalaine's big chance to finally get the dream home that they've always wanted.
Well, we love it very much because we were able to find exactly what we wanted. We wanted an open concept. We wanted a 4-bedroom, the big kitchen island that I wanted. We pretty much got a good deal.
Lalaine believes when blessings are shared, the joy is multiplied. She helped her sister Beth in filing petitions for their siblings who were still in the Philippines.
It was important for me to bring my siblings here in America because I feel that if I were given an opportunity to succeed, that they should be able to also. It was 20 years ago. My sister actually is the one that petitioned all my siblings. There were 3 of them that were petitioned, but just before the interview process came out, my oldest sister passed away. So
Her eldest sister, unfortunately, right before they were able to come to the States, she passed away. We miss her dearly, as you can see.
And there was still one loved one who got left behind.
We do have Lisa, the sisters that's still in the Philippines, but we were able to do some things for her family in the Philippines that we're really proud of.
Lalaine and Ed made sure Lisa knew the feeling of having her own home, her own sanctuary.
And so I told her that we will build a house together. I asked her to save some money and then we will work on it together so that we can build a house for her. I wanted the house to look something very similar to like an American home because I feel like it's comfortable. Home is where your heart is, so I wanted her to feel the same way I feel when I come home.
The fact that this has been a generational change, as long as they take care of it, they always have their own place to call home and no one can take it from them.
It's now complete, or I guess like 90% complete, but she loves it and that's what we wanted to do. I wanted her to feel that way. You know, when you move into your home and it's complete, I wanted her to feel the same way I feel.
We spent time with Lalaine and Ed. Ed's a great person,
I love
a good
Ed.
team member. And so, for them to get to where they are now, and that is such a lovely home.
That's
That
true.
is a beautiful home. I love the pool.
Yeah.
I love everything about that home. And to see how your sister came over and achieved that,
Yeah.
right, to that level, and where she is now working in a very exclusive hotel in downtown Austin. That truly is the American story, the American dream.
Yes.
And you know, there's more to the story,
Yeah.
right? They've taken that American dream and they're sharing it.
All of us are here in America already, right? Meron lang kaming isang sister na naiwan doon, which is Lisa. We've seen this kind of love sa mga nandito sa Amerika. Send that love to the Philippines. And I think it's just normal sa Pilipino, you know, na they don't want to live luxuriously here sa Amerika, knowing na merong kang kamag-anak sa Philippines na just having a hard time. And my sister, this couple, Ate Lalaine and Kuya Ed, they really have a very good heart.
Yeah.
Kasi they don't hold back anything to help our relatives in the Philippines.
And someone told us one time, they said, you know what, you guys help people experience the American dream. And I hope that we have.
Yeah.
And we would love to share those stories.
I think what we're doing is such a blessing to me personally. Yeah. I just hope na, you know, this will be a good kind of like inspiration sa mga tao na lahat ng bagay may paraan.
Yeah.
And I think our goal is to be able to give them options to better off their life dito sa America.
I think the audience realizes I'm not Filipino. That might shock
you
them.
sure?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I've worked and I've seen these stories,
Yeah.
and it inspires me. And I'm so happy to be, you know, working in the Filipino community to help build
I'm
these,
so proud.
these dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So proud.
I hope you enjoyed that story. And that's all we have for this week. If you have any questions, give us a call at 888-860-9530.
Or you can go to our website and schedule yourself for a free consultation with either Robert or Ning.
That's right. And don't forget to join us again next week for Keeping It Real with Rob and Ning.
See you next time.